we've all been paying a lot of attention to politics, of course, with the Republican presidential primary. And tonight, with the State of the Union, often it's more about the appearances than the actual content of the State of the Union address. And so we wanted to bring Roshini Rajkumar in. Roshini is a speaker, a communication coach. She's an author. She's a former television reporter. She's a former WCCO radio reporter, even, from the Roshini's company. It's called the Roshini Group, correct, Roshini?
Yes, thanks, Jason. Happy birthday. And I need to tell you, I just left a client who was so excited that I was going to be on with you. And she said, oh, he's my favorite TV personality. So she's listening right now.
Well, you know exactly how to get the interview started, Roshini. Is that what you train your clients? Because that is genius.
Well,
Butter the guy up.
I'm speaking the truth, buddy. I'm just speaking
All right, Roshini, you could just take the next 4 minutes and do a commercial for your company then. That's perfect. No. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to have you on because, you obviously with your career as a reporter and now your career as a speaker, communication coach, consultant, this is really something that you watch closely. Let's start with the Republican presidential candidates, because I think it's such a fascinating difference in communication style for all of these candidates.
It absolutely is. It's a fun time to be a communication coach as well as a broadcaster because they give us so much fodder to work with.
Oh, it's gold. It's gold.
It's amazing. So each one of them has some distinct assets and some distinct challenges. And I mean this in a very just basic, objective way. So you look at Mitt Romney. He should have been the poster child for the GOP nomination. He is not.
It's shocking, right? Because he's smooth, he's successful, he looks like a president.
He looks very presidential, Jason, but his big flaw is that he's not the guy that you look at and say, hey, let's go have a beer.
Why do we care about this? Who is having a beer with the president?
Well, yeah, I don't think many of us are having a beer with these candidates, but we want that feeling that we could. The candidate, it's a real tough position for these candidates to be in because not only do they need to be able to make life and death decisions, be commander-in-chief, but they've also got to be able to sit down and shoot the breeze with you, right?
Right.
That is a very challenging position. So Mitt Romney isn't there yet, but he does look presidential. So those are some of his assets. Last night, during the debate, some of the things that I want us to, that I was looking at and I want you to look at as we move forward with the continued debates and these big things coming up, Minnesota's caucuses on February 7th. Look at how their eye contact is, what their body language is saying. There were times last night when Mitt Romney, just the way he held his head was a little defensive when he was answering these questions or challenging some of his counterparts. So that's something to look at. The more relaxed you are, Newt Gingrich is an example of just he gets up there, he's very relaxed. Now he may let out a bomb in his, with his words, but he does it with just such ease and authenticity. That is his asset, and that is probably why he was able to do such a big upset with the South Carolina primary.
People seem to love it when Newt Gingrich goes into attack mode, and especially when he attacks the media. People, the Republican primary voters seem to be eating that up.
They're eating it up.
It's risky, though, isn't it, when you go in that mode?
Yeah, it is risky because his fatal flaw is that if he keeps going overboard with these just wonderful sound bites, I mean, they're great quotes, but if he keeps going elevating those, he's going to sound very bombastic, and it could go over into the defensive because, each of these people is a wealthy man. Each of these people has credentials, so you can't really shoot down any of them. They're doing some negative campaigning against one another, talking about how much money you got from this lobbying group, how much your taxes were in 2010 and 2009. They're all rich. They can't hide from that. So now it's how do you make yourself sound a little more relatable to the common American voter?
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating. I find the whole thing fascinating because when you think of most of us, the common American voter, we should not be the president, No, but that we want someone who's common but extraordinary, which I think is interesting. We're going to talk more about the candidates, break down some of the communication pluses and minuses as we continue. Roshini's going to hold on through the